Hi guys, it's me, Kay, or Moonfeather, whichever you prefer. This video is the story time on how I found the Gothic subculture. How I found the Gothic subculture was, I was around 14, 13 maybe. This was in it's way back. And I was curious to what it was because I had a family member who used to dress alternative, and the word goth was thrown back and forth, like she's goth, oh goth this, goth that, and it just kind of like got put into the back of my head. And then when I was I think I was 14, I was desperately searching for somewhere to belong because I have a disability. I have cerebral palsy, which kind of hindered me in getting a lot of friends because people looked at me, and then because of the way I walked, people were like, okay, we're gonna just stay away from this person. And I feel like that's the case for a lot of goths. Because of our alienation and isolation because of people, we tend to like go to this style, but that's beside the point. So when I was 14, I remembered it again, like goth. I was like, what is that? So I searched it up, started watching videos. I stumbled onto people like Leah Mouse, and It's Black Friday, I believe. Or did I start with... No, I remember I started with Leah Mouse, went on to Dorian, which is, what is it? Herbs and Altars, I think their name is on YouTube. Very good. And I started just like gobbling it up. I went on to that, to Gothic Charm School. I started like learning a lot more about the subculture, and I was like, what is goth? And then they were all just like, you know, most of them were like, the music, and I was like, what is goth music then? So I listened to a few bands. I started with a band that I would today consider, I don't know if I would consider it goth, but a lot of gothic people like it. I started with Mesh, which is like still dear to my heart. I still love their stuff. And then I went on to Christian Death, was one of my bands. And I remember when I heard Romeo's Distress, I was like, okay. First I was taken aback because it was like, you know, so raw, but it was so beautiful in a way. And I want to post pictures right here. This was me and my baby bat face when I was just experimenting with makeup and stuff. And what was so lovely is I started indulging myself in this. I moved on to music like The Birthday Massacre and what other? Susie and the Banshees, Joy Division, The Cure. I threw myself in this, and I found myself legitimately loving it. And then came the odd looks from family members, from people that used to know me. Everyone thought I was like, you know, is he depressed? Is he going through a thing? No, I was just exploring and trying to figure my little self out, which was amazing because I found this whole new world. And then came me wanting to convert people. Found a friend. I taught her everything I knew and then tried to convert her. She tried to like it. She didn't quite like the music, which I understand it's not for everyone. But she stayed in it for like 2 months. I tried to like send her playlists. I wanted a girlfriend so bad. But then I started involving myself in YouTube, and I started doing YouTube videos way back on a channel that shall not be named. It's deleted by now. I did a few gothic YouTube videos. I did a video with my old dog that I used to have. It was like a spooky video where my dog was like, the whole thing was like my dog's possessed and knows how to open doors, because my dog literally knew to open doors. And in that video, I figured out that my dog, because I thought literally that my dog had some kind of superpower, and I set up a camera, and then you can literally see my dog using, she was using her paws to open the door, which I was like, okay, kind of cool. Now that mystery is figured out. And I was kind of sad because I was like, I was really hoping that my dog was kind of haunting the place, and then I don't know, I was a weird kid. So my kind of gothic obsession continued into my, like when I was 15, 16. So I found a dead magpie at the side of the road. I remember it was fresh because he was all warm and wiggly. He just started to smell a little bit because it was a hot day. So I got my 2 nephews to come with me, and we picked him up. into a bag and we buried him in the woods because I wanted its skull, you know, decoration. People thought I was batshit crazy. I don't blame them because I went from 1 to 0 real quick with this. And, you know, that's just my whole personality. I don't go into something a little bit. I dive headfirst into it. No helmet, no nothing. I need to, because that's how I work. If I figure out something about myself, like, oh, I'm related to this culture, or, oh, I'm related to that, I will go fully into it to discover it. Because I need to know what it feels like to relate to it. That's just how I've always been. And a lot of people see that as me being extreme, I guess, and I can see how that comes off as me going overboard and changing my whole personality, but it's not. It's literally me putting myself in the mindset of said group and then exploring it from within the group.
Hi guys, it's Kay from the editing world. I just wanted to say that I forgot to make a point. Even though I dive headfirst into things and I take some time to explore that, and I go really crazy into it, I will always go back to normal. So just give me some time and I will always come back. That's all I wanted to say.
Because I want to do it authentically. Yes, I might go a little overboard and it might look like that to other people, but I'm having a good time. It's just like if somebody likes a book by an author and they start reading their works and then they only read that author until they're done with the series. Like, a lot of people do that. But I do it with clothes, with everything. So it's kind of extreme from other people's point of view, which I totally get. But it's just how I am. And I feel like a lot of people love putting people in boxes. They're like, hey, but you used to be this and you used to be that. I'm like, I wasn't that. I was just exploring that, or I was just doing that. And I've come to the realization like a month ago, actually, that my authentic self is pretty much this, because this is what I've been for the longest, and this is what I've related to the longest. So this is my authentic self, which I talked about in an earlier video. But, so, the whole dead bird thing continued. I started looking up, jewelry. I ordered jewelry off of my mom's credit card when I was like 15, 16. She never found out, or if she did find out, she just didn't care. Which, if you're watching this, Mom, I am sorry. And please don't yell at me. I'm 24 now. I'm not 16 anymore. Kidding. So the thing is, I started obsessively liking the goth community, and I went overboard with that. That is the one thing I actually went tremendously overboard with. I was planning to move to Germany. I wanted to learn German. I wanted to go to club. And then comes me, I'm like around 18. No, I was around, I don't know. I was fairly young, into my teens. I joined high school. And there was this other alternative goth person. I was like, yes, my tribe. I automatically gravitated towards him. Granted, he's no longer goth today, sadly enough. I miss his goth self. I'm still friends with him today, and he's still semi-alternative, just not goth. And I remember I gravitated towards him. We started he spoke my language. He understood everything. Granted, we disagreed on a few topics, whether you are goth if you don't listen to goth music. I said, you totally are not goth if you don't listen to goth music. It's like saying you're a punk and not listening to punk music, or that you're a metalhead and not listening to metal music. It just doesn't work like that, but that's a topic for another video. So, when I started going heavily into my gothic face, starting to actually mature with style, and finding my own style, and actually dressing up, and actually, not just doing it as a facade, or not actually just because I wanted to be a part of it. When I actually started to feel a part of the gothic subculture and not just a baby bat anymore. I still consider myself a little bit of a baby bat. That's why I'm wearing my bat wings right now. Kidding. I always wear them. But, I started to feel a part of it finally when I was like, I was probably like 19, 20 when I finally started feeling like, I'm not a baby bat anymore. I probably am to some extent, but I felt more a part of it. So I started experimenting with my style. Let's show some pictures. Yeah. and I felt good. I felt like I can do this. I look good doing this now. I know how to do it. I know how to do my makeup. Granted, I thought I knew how to do my makeup. If you saw those pictures, that makeup wasn't, it's not good. It did not look good. I mean, I become fairly good at doing my makeup now. If somebody wants to come for me for not wearing foundation, I have not found the right color for me yet, and I do not plan on doing it until I can find the right color for me. And I also want to get hair removal because, you know, having a beard is difficult when you want to do this makeup. Also, I want to be a little bit paler before I just want to be pale. Nothing to do with me hating my skin color or anything. I just think it's easier with the type of makeup I want to do. Granted. What was that about? Yeah, and I legitimately thought that makeup was good. Granted, here are some of my looks from now. A lot better, right? Like, a lot more refined, a lot better at doing the work. I'm not trying too hard. It's simple, still elegant. I mean, like, shit, that other picture I showed, if I managed to put it up here, the harsh lines and the under contours, I don't know what I was thinking. But, you know, it was a journey, and I feel like I finally come to a place where I've, like, found myself. This is my designated haircut, which I love. I've had this haircut many a times. I think I've had it, like, 3 times throughout my life. And I love it because it's simple. You have a shaved head. You can get the air, the breeze. You can put your hair down part and nobody sees that you have a shaved head. You can also spike it, make it look cool. You can tease it. You can put tease mohawk. You can do so much with it. It's such a versatile hairstyle, which I love. So if there's any takeaway from this video is just do you. Just figure yourself out. And if you find yourself going back to something more than once and you feel yourself genuinely loving it, then that's probably you. Probably. I'm not going to say 100% because, you know, all people are different. But in my case, considering that I've been back to this gothic thing for God knows how much, I've changed it so many times, but I'll always come back. I think I've been like goth like more times than I can count on my hand, going back and forth. But it's a journey, and it's like I've talked to a lot of other goths, and I thought I was the only goth that went back and forth, you know, trying to figure themselves out, trying to be normal, trying to be this. Turns out it's not. It's just a matter of circumstance, because people like me get people who are assholes and who criticize you, and then you internalize that into your own head. And then you're like, okay, maybe they're right. Without noticing that it's their effect on you. And then you change. Because literally, I've gotten, you only dress that way because you're depressed, you're dressing that way. But let me tell you, I have made a mental note. Whenever I dress like this, I'm my happiest. I'm my most productive. I wake up, I do my makeup, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. I'm actually taking care of myself. I clean my apartment. I do everything I need to do. I'm happy. Yes, I might be a little dark and macabre because, you know, it comes with the territory. And granted, I've been doing it for so long that it's actually become a part of me. It might have been forced when I was younger, but now it's actually a part of me. Dark humor, the literature, the music, it's actually just become a part of me. Granted, I love girl pop. I love stupid ballad music. Not country. I love classical music. I love a lot of different music. I even love some rap. But when it comes to the gothic music, I love it. It is in my bones. When I put on Romeo's Distress, or what is another song that I was like, oh, this song is beautiful. I haven't heard anything by maybe Faith in the Muse. It's like, oh, or She Passed Away. Like, when I hear some of their tunes and like the way the guitar hits and the way the bass, it goes into my soul, and I just want to dance. I feel the music in me. And that's how I think I discovered that, you know, goth was the best choice for me, because I felt it in my bones. And yes, I might look extreme, and people are like, are you not afraid of like scaring kids? Or it is not my business. It is not my place. People cannot tell me to look a certain way just because it makes them uncomfortable. It's like, and people are like, aren't you afraid people are gonna stare at you? I have cerebral palsy. I will have a scissor gait. I walk super fucking weird. People will stare at me no matter what the fuck I do. So I might as well have it up and look fucking awesome while doing it. But back to what I was saying. If you find yourself going back to a style more than once, you're probably that style. And you're probably a part of that subculture for a reason. For me, I've discovered that I might find little bits and pieces of other subcultures and mash them in and become this little bubble of me, or try this little style and just see how that goes, and then slowly come back to goth. But I'm trying my best now to keep myself this way, because I'm honestly my happiest, my most creative, my most put together when I'm this way, because I'm actually taking care of myself, because it's better for me and it's better for my mental health. Because being this way also gives me an outlet to discover my darker sides without a fear of it. Because if I talk to somebody else who is goth and I'm like, I'm having this episode of this and I'm feeling this and that, and they're like, that's completely normal, want to talk more about it, and then we could just keep an open dialogue. Or if I'm saying something that I normally would hide when I'm normal, because like I don't want to offend the normies. I legitimately did that. I hid certain parts. I hid certain jokes I would make because I didn't want people to think I was not normal, which is suppression of yourself, which is not good on your mental health. But this video is going to be 20 minutes long, and I'm sorry. And if you stuck through it, thank you so very much. But again, I'm Kay, and I'm also Moonfeather. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.